Well, hello. Today I'd like to talk to you about the Cognitive Surplus Notebook. And you can tell I had a late night at school, line judging in the tie and everything. Didn't get home till after 9 o'clock, so I am not at my best right now, and I should be in bed, but I just wanted to get this review done because I'm just not, well, it's a nail biter of a game, so I'm not quite ready to go to bed yet. So I thought I'd film this, and by then I'd be wound down and mellow and ready to sleep because I really need to sleep. This is late. So let's dive into the notebook. If videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens, both new and old and at all price points, or writing paraphernalia, I would invite you to subscribe. And if you'd like to talk about this notebook, or perhaps suggest a good notebook to me, I'd be interested to hear that in the comments, so please leave a comment down below. Let's dive into the notebook. So what you're looking at here, this is a Cognitive Surplus notebook. Let's zoom in on the cover. So what I think makes these fun, on a purely superficial level, this is what caught my attention, is the artwork on them. This has a mathematical theme. In fact, this is the notebook where I keep all my show notes for, my videos. Let me zoom back out here. So I said I like the covers. This one has a night theme for forests, a seafood theme. They're no longer sold with this on them, but it's here for a reason. So take it off here. Solar system theme, I will come back to this. I've been leaving it on there so I'd remember that when I finally did this video. And also with the same thing, I'm in the business of growing these together and growing connections between these because I'm a teacher. These are neurons. So, beautiful covers. And you're thinking, where did that come from? So I'm going to sneak out my show notes notebook because this is where I have everything written down. And we'll just spread a couple around here. So actually the Cognitive Surplus Company was started by a married couple, Kristen and Jeff Zephyrus. They wanted, in their words, to celebrate the intersection of science and design. What they started out with, they were looking for an elegant gift for Kristen's mother, who is a science teacher. Are you wondering yet why I was interested in these notebooks? I'm a science teacher. Of course they appealed to me. I'm also a math teacher, so all the math themes appealed to me. I think foreign languages are very interesting, so of course the foreign languages stuff, which I didn't bring that one down, appealed to me. So they started out looking for an elegant gift for her mother as a science teacher. They found a periodic table curtain and in it listed carbon as a noble gas. Don't give that to your science teacher friends. Urgh. So the company is based in Portland, Oregon. They're showing you my notes here. I will show you my notes. That is actually part of the video, but not yet. It's based in Portland, Oregon. It's a very green company with carbon offsets for what they do. FSC certified 100% recycled paper. When they ship the notebooks, which they have improved, I will show you that too. This is one of the bad things, but now it's better. They use compostable plastic sleeves. You know, I compost with my garden. That's good because one of my problems with online shopping is all the packaging now that has to go in a landfill. So I'm happy that it's compostable, although I didn't know that when I got these notebooks, or I would have composted it. And an inclusive workforce, and usually, there's certain things that are mentioned with inclusive workforces. They're actually talking about disabilities, intellectual and physical disabilities. So I think that's pretty awesome. Now these notebooks you see here are what's called the Hypothesis. It's a 7x9 size notebook. They have several others. There's a Theory, which, what is it? It's this size 11x9? 11 by 8.5, I can't remember, but anyway, it's a full-size notebook. There's some with soft covers. There's some smaller pocket-sized notebooks. These are all hardcover. So that's the notebook I'm going to review. The paper is, of course, let's use their advertising. What the heck? So the notebooks come with 192 pages. They are sewn, they have sewn binding, and I'm looking at my show notes right now, and it stays open with no trouble. If I want to go back to this page, no trouble. Want to go to this page, I haven't used it, no trouble. So lay flat sewn binding, 80 grams per square meter recycled paper, and it is 100% recycled paper, although this does not make that point. I think it does on this side somewhere. Fountain pen friendly, and it says see inside for more details. Now this comes out of the Neuron one. So I was trying to find where more details are. I don't see it. So yeah, I'm not sure. But on their website I did see that they actually mean small and medium tip nibs, not necessarily your broad. They come, this is interesting, and I'll have to show you this better. They come in several page designs, and the facing pages are ruled differently. This one, the Neuron one, has graph paper facing lined paper. And of course, it's soy ink. I don't think I've mentioned that. And the covers are waterproof. When you look here, oh, okay, maybe this is what they meant when see inside. I didn't think of this. No feathering, no bleed, fast dry time. Not 100% true. We'll get to that. For best results, use a small to medium tipped fountain pen. All right, and up here, I like this idea. Take beautiful notes and pride in everything you've learned. I know when I was in college, my whole idea of notes was I used the backsides of printouts that were not taken from the printers in the computer lab, and I put it all in a 3-ring binder. That was my idea of how to take notes. Now that I'm older, I appreciate fine paper a lot more. But 192 pages, lots of room, make every page beautiful. You know, I guess when I was in college, I was always rushing to get the notes done. But now that I'm not rushing so much, I take more pleasure in organizing my notes and thinking about them. And then this is why the paper's like this. Designed with lined pages on the right to take notes or collect your thoughts, and grid paper on the left to annotate, graph, or record data. Science guy appreciates that because grid paper is awesome for graphing and recording data. Lined paper, perhaps not so much. Now they come with several other facing page designs. This one, the solar system one, has lined paper and blank paper. Have not used. You may be able to tell I went a little nuts buying these. And now they have a honeybee themed one out that I really want, and I don't need it, but I want it. So I may be buying it. They have dot paper, both pages. Dot paper is kind of nice because the dots disappear once you get writing on the page, but it helps line up your graphs and your writing. This one, I don't remember what this one is, this forest one. Oh, more dot paper, which you can barely see. And one of the things that's been interesting that the newest ones have in the inside front cover is a slight table of contents. Apparently we're going to have to group by section rather than individual pages, but whatever. And then now that they're not including the paper labels, they have to just put it as a small amount right inside the notebook. Because you'll notice these other notebooks, oh, that's actually one of the newer ones. The older ones, once you take that paper strap off, you don't have any branding at all. Now, I had some trouble when I ordered these the first time. They arrived damaged. that has since been rectified. I have not had that trouble since I ordered those, which I'm happy about. Let's see, this forest one, I originally bought it thinking gift, but then I got it and I like, wow, that like so makes me think of home, because I'm from Pennsylvania originally, so I'm keeping that one. But I found an even better one for my mother that's themed with stuff she likes, so I'm getting her that one. It's not down here, but it's like a bunch of mushrooms and stuff, because she thinks mushrooms are cool, so whatever. So this is my notes on the notebook. I took all this with a pen that I got from Pierre Gustafson. I'm going to zoom in because that's the point behind this. All right, so you can see it's all dried. Tiny bit of bleed through, but nothing bad. And this is, if I write down here, a very wet pen. This is a Wall Eversharp Skyline, very, very wet. It's filled with Parker Quink Black, which is actually rather nice on lower quality paper. So this isn't the best test, but out of what I had inked right now, I have no idea why I just wrote the word Waterman, because nothing is Waterman. But I did. And you can see it dried reasonably quickly. And it is a fairly fast drying ink, that's why it's called Quink. If I look on the back side, no bleed through. So then I got to thinking, well, what about a more fluffy ink, like Noodler's Bay State Blue? Now, admittedly, this isn't a fine point nib. This is an ink that loves to feather. Tell how much I ate during the basketball game or volleyball game. So Bay State Blue, almost no feathering, so I think that's really good. And then when we look on the other side, yeah, little bit of bleed through, but if I'm writing on this page, not so much I'm actually going to notice. Now it mentioned don't use a broad nib, so of course I brought a broad nib down. I had to ink up my Lamy 2000 with a broad nib after talking about it last week. And it's a fat honking nib and a fairly wet writer. So that is not dry yet, so we'll let it dry for a second. The ink is Noodler's Bay State Blue. Oh, geez, no it isn't. See, I told you, never do videos at night. I should be in bed, but I'm still wound up, so who knows, I may have to read for a while before I fall asleep, and then tomorrow morning I'll be like, why did you stay up so late? But I did, because I can't get to sleep when I'm wound up. Oh, what a conundrum. All right, so while that's drying, I see a little feathering, but nothing bad. I have a Sheaffer Balance from the 1930s. Vintage pen lovers may want to look away for this. I do have it inked with Noodler's Rattler Eel Red. The main reason is I was hoping, that's an ink that's quite good at cleaning stains out. So I'm kind of hoping I can clean up that ink window in there a little bit. I know, latex sacks and all that, but whatever. Lamy Ion with a Gerbon ink in it. I think it's Parfum Lavande, but I can't remember for sure. It's an extra fine nib. Funny enough, I don't have a whole lot of broad nibs inked right now. What else? Oh, I've got this puppy. My real Lamy 2000, my Daily Writer. Inked with Lamy Black. So let's see how all those did, because this is finally dry. Little bit of bleeding, not gonna lie. But again, nothing objectionable. The furnace is coming on. So I will pause a second and edit it up for your convenience and reconvene after it shuts off again. Actually, while we're waiting for the main part of the furnace to kick on, let's just zoop out a bit. So I'm this far into the notebook. And you can see some of my pages, not a lot. Don't always use the facing page. Other times I do. I have my weird ways of taking notes. And these are all show notes. So this is usually what is just barely off the screen when I'm doing a video. Because I don't follow a script, but I do follow an outline. Oh, here's some... This looks like a stub nib. I don't remember what the ink is, but it's stub. No bleed through on it, though. That's not bad. So you can see the... Now I gotta shut up. So I apologize for the interruption there. While I was waiting on the furnace, I was paging through, and I happened to notice here a little bit of bleed through. This was written with... Oops, too far. Written with a very wet pen, a Waterman's Tape Write, back when I did the review of that, with Pala de Roshizuku Chiku Rin. Whatever that is, didn't bleed. This one was also somewhat bleedy. But I can't remember what that is. I don't remember what ink, I don't remember what pen. But for the most part, it's really not. So on the whole, I'd say I'm fairly impressed with it. I don't know why I have the green smears. I don't remember that, but there they are. And this is more how it's meant to be used. The idea of you have writing on one side, art on the other side, you know, your graphs, your drawings, your sketches. This is back when I was trying to work out how to do a title screen. Pretty easy for this one. I did a lot of thinking about title screens. So there you go. So what do I think? Well, I love the idea of these notebooks. I love the idea of taking notes that way, where I have, you know, my beautiful words and my beautiful diagrams, and they're all together. I think that's wonderful. Truth is, I don't do that as much as I like to think I would. I just don't. I don't think visually. And often when I do write notes, if I am thinking visually, I want the visual thing right there in the middle of the words. So to me, the dot paper is actually a lot more useful. Or blank paper, you know, just have both pages entirely blank. The dots are nice, though, if you're making a graph or a table, just to line everything up. So, sorry, all you free spirits out there, but that's just the way I roll. But I'm such a sucker for these notebooks, and I like the paper. I have a lot of them. In fact, when this notebook that I do my pen reviews in gets used up, I may actually switch to a Cognitive Surplus. I'm not 100% sure about pens in use. I want to support Bomo Art Journal. I'm not a fan of Hungary's government, but this is a small business within Hungary. It's not their fault that they've got a scary government. So I kind of want to support them. So I'll probably continue. I mean, my 2 books every 4 years or whatever. But I'll continue to support them probably. But these are nice. And I bought my first one several years ago. I was looking for a notebook to hand out to a class. I never did hand out a notebook to a class because I finally decided, they'll buy what makes sense to them rather than me forcing them into something. So that's what I did. They just did their own thing, and it worked. So, but I liked these. At first, it was just me using them up. And then I was, oh, that one's got a pretty cover. And the next thing you know, I had several. So, actually, I have a stack of them. Several have been used. Majority have not. So I got to get cracking with the writing. But anyway, I felt it was a notebook worth showing you Whether it's worth it to you or not, that's a question for you. This is a size notebook I like. I have found that I prefer the 7x9 or the B5. I mean, this isn't quite a B5, but close enough. I like that size notebook. This, or is it? Am I lying to myself? I want to say this is a B5. But now I'm questioning that, and I have a notebook I know is a B5, but it's not down here, so take that with a grain of salt. I get in trouble. I've got a viewer who always points out if I make a mistake, and I may have just made a mistake there. But anyway, the point is, nice notebook, very attractive, durable covers. The shipping problems have apparently been fixed. I feel like if I would have contacted them and let them know, they probably would have found a way to make it right. But I just thought, who cares? So I let her slide. Other products that they sell, they have like glassware. You can get glasses with, like drinking glasses, not glasses. Yeah, that's late at night. Drinking glasses you can get with scientific designs on them. There's fabric-y things, tote bags, wax seals, there it is. They have quite a number of things. I've put a link to the website down below. Again, this is the Hypothesis-sized notebook. They have several sizes. I have no affiliation with them. I don't want affiliations with any company, so I just review what makes me happy, and right now these notebooks are making me happy, and it's late enough at night that I know I can't get into an intelligent discussion about the history of a pen that I wanted to do, because I wanted to do Parker 21, which is notes in here, but yeah, I feel like my brain is too scrambled by a really long volleyball game where I was line judging and late at night when I should be in bed, so we did a notebook instead. So, if that all makes sense, if videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens, both new and old at all price points, or writing paraphernalia, I would invite you to subscribe. And if you'd like to talk about the Cognitive Surplus notebooks, or perhaps recommend another one, I would sure be interested, and I would welcome your comments down below. And as always, I thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.